Hi all, today Phone Arena is presenting you the Acer Liquid Metal. Metal because it has a stainless steel back cover, Mocha in our unit, but there's also a silver version. And because of this chrome-like band surrounding the phone, which in the bottom and at the top turns elliptical, which makes the phone almost look like a flask in a profile. And the impression is aided by this curved back. The chassis is curved both on the back and at the front. This glass over the screen is curved, which makes the phone very comfortable to hold and easy to operate with one hand. But of course, when it lies down and you're trying to type on the screen, it rocks from left to right, which is a bit unpleasant. The Acer Liquid Metal has an 800 MHz second generation Snapdragon chipset, which is much faster than the 1 GHz first generation. And it has a 5 megapixel camera on the back with LED flash. The screen is 3.6-inch capacitive touchscreen, pretty decent in terms of resolution, 480 by 800 pixels, and the visibility in direct sunlight is good as well, but the viewing angles are weak, pretty average. Overall, the colors are punchy and the brightness is good enough, so we have no complaints about the screen on the Acer Liquid Metal. What we would like to show you though is the coolest feature, these LED notification lights. What you're looking at here is the coolest feature of the Acer Liquid Metal. 3 LED notification lights at the top, which illuminate in white when there's a missed call, unread email or message, as well as when the phone is charging or the battery is dying. These are not operational when the phone is with the default Froyo interface, but when you turn on Acer's own user interface called Breeze, they become active. So let's have a look at Breeze. The interface on the Acer Liquid Metal is no different than the one on the Acer Stream, where the Breeze user interface appeared first. You have 5 screens with information even before you have unlocked the display, which can show different info, as well as you can place different widgets on them. So you can start communicating with your device even before you have unlocked the screen. Appear in the lower left corner, and here's the default home screen. On the left is a task history. You can choose your previous applications from here or close them all together to save resources. Not that you need to save much on this second generation Snapdragon chipset. On the right is your multimedia, pictures, music with album cover, videos as well. You can start them directly from here. In the bottom are 8 shortcuts to your most used applications, which you can change as will. Pull them up, and here's the main menu, spanning on a couple of different pages, depending on how many applications you have installed. Pull it back down, and here's the main difference between the stock Froyo interface and Breeze of Acer. It's notification bar, which is here at the bottom instead of at the top. It also has a couple of screens for notifications, but it's much more interactive. You can set your alarm from here, for example. You can also, wireless connectivity, turn it on and off, and even enter the settings straight from the home screen. Pretty cool. The only downside is that we involuntarily often touched the notification bar. The dial pad is pretty comfortable to use. Big buttons, there's smart dial, 2 free keystrokes, and it recognizes who are you trying to call. Call log is very detailed. And here's your phone book. It's of course integrated with your social networking accounts, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, your corporate email, etc. But if you want to have a look at the Facebook profile, you have to go to the dedicated Facebook application on the Acer Liquid Metal. That's different from, say, TouchWiz 3.0 of Samsung or HTC Sense, where this is integrated in the address book itself, especially in TouchWiz 3.0. Or alternatively, you can use this application called Social Jogger, which makes for a pretty nice visualization of your Facebook and Twitter status updates, posts, photos, etc. This is something missing in the Acer stream, but it's appearing for the first time in the Acer Liquid Metal. Breeze UI is pretty different in terms of looks, but the other applications are very much stock Froyo. The calendar, for example, it's not skimmed in a way that it is with some other user interfaces. Messaging application is the same as in stock Froyo. The keyboard portrait in landscape mode, keyboard is stock as well. It's pretty easy to type on since the screen is big enough. Overall, Acer has only skinned the interface, not the applications themselves. Now let's have a look at the browser. Of course, it runs Adobe Flash since it's Android 2.2 Froyo on the Acer Liquid Metal. Flash pages load without any problems, and Flash videos are shown smoothly. As you can see, we didn't experience any problems with Flash on the Acer Liquid Metal. The only thing is that you have to download the Adobe Flash APK from the Android market. It's not pre-installed on the Acer Liquid Metal. I don't know for what reasons, but it's not a deal breaker definitely. Let's have a look at how navigation in a normal page looks like. Scrolling is smooth. Double tap works well. Panning around too. Pinch to zoom. Basically no complaints about the browser in the Acer Liquid Metal. As far as multimedia applications go, we have the stock gallery for your photos and videos with its 3D effects, which is the default one on Froyo. And we also have the stock music player. Cool feature here is when you start a song and you return back to the default home screen, let's say, the album art becomes your wallpaper. And if the song is active, you have the player here in the notification bar, so you can control it from here. Pretty cool, huh? And of course, Acer has included its Nemo player, which it tends to put on all its Android handsets lately, which basically integrates not only your pictures and videos, but also your music. Pretty cool looking interface. As we said, it's a player, so it runs your multimedia as well, besides displaying it in a cool way. The camera interface on the Acer Liquid Metal is pretty touch optimized. Buttons are big enough for pressing with your fingers. There's macro mode, face tracking, a couple of other settings you can do, like white balance. You can add effects to your photos, let's say. Not much, but they're here. Still, the set photos are pretty much something that you would expect from a 2 or 3 megapixel camera, not from the 5 megapixel with LED flash we have on the Acer Liquid Metal. Pictures are blurry. On top of that, they're lacking detail, and the exposure is not set correctly. With the video, although it's smooth and it shoots with 30 frames per second, it's also blurry and lacking detail. Basically, that's our main complaint with the Acer Liquid Metal, the subpar quality of the camera. And to wrap up our video review of the Acer Liquid Metal, we have to say that we were pleasantly surprised by the handset. It has this curved chassis, which makes it stand out from the pack in terms of design, but also makes it comfortable to hold, easy to operate with one hand. And it is run by a powerful second generation Snapdragon chipset, which makes the innovative Breeze user interface zippy. It even throws in some perks, like this cool LED notification system here at the top. And it has, in terms of audio, Dolby Mobile, 2 microphones for noise cancellation, which make call quality on the Acer Liquid Metal way above average. Of course, we have some complaints, and these are mainly the lack of audiophobic coating on the screen, which makes finger smudges appear really easily, and the main one, the subpar quality of the camera. The 5 megapixel camera with LED flash is supposed to make much nicer pictures than what it makes. The pictures are blurry, lacking detail, and the video, although it's shot with 30 frames per second, is of the same quality. But for the price you can find the Acer liquid metal at, pretty low for the specifications, something's gotta give. This was a video review of the Acer liquid metal from Phonerin.